what ended up happening was that my grandmother ended up getting sick. And my grandfather, of course, he was working. So my mom, in turn, in order to try to help out, actually moved back home in order to try to assist them with everything that they needed. In turn, we ended up finding out that she was sick also. It was the day that my second child was born. She ended up having to come to the hospital with me. She had a doctor's appointment that day. So she was going to be there for the birth of my child, but what ended up happening, she had an appointment around the same time that my child was born. And it come to find out, 2 minutes after my child was born, they told me that she had stage 4 cancer. So it was like a kick to the gut. My grandfather, he was not doing very well. Even though he was working, he was not doing well dealing with COPD. So it ended up, we started having 3 sick people in the same house. And it just continued from there. So
all across America, the aging of the baby boomers is really creating a tsunami of older adults. And so there will be, in the next 20 to 30 years, this huge number, a bubble of older adults, and there are not those available direct care workers, as we like to call these caregivers, to take care of them.
We've always known that we did not want to let anyone go into a nursing home. It was just something that we didn't do as a family.
We decided this is what we have to do. We're going to keep them home, but we have to be smart about it. Things got very hectic. Because we were committed to, one, making sure nobody went to a doctor's appointment by themselves. We were committed to, if somebody was going to have an overnight stay in the hospital, they were not going to be by themselves. The 3 of them lived together, but if somebody was in the hospital, that meant some family member had to be at the hospital with them, but somebody had to be at the house with the people who couldn't be left alone.
The process of learning to be a caregiver, it was harder than what you would think because we didn't have the resources that we should have had.
Kelton is very stoic. He's the oldest of 3 brothers and the most stoic of the 3. And so for me, the couple of times that I saw him cry and break down were probably when the person never cries, when you see them cry then, it's a lot more powerful.
Most people that care for older adults do not have any basic training. And they do not necessarily a lot of things wrong, but they don't do them in the most efficient way for the client, for the older adult, or for themselves, meaning they may hurt themselves or they may hurt their client. There may be just an easier way to do things. You may be able to get them up out of a chair, or let's say get them in the car, but if you had a device that we show you, then it becomes much easier, much quicker.
We've gotten lots of compliments. I've heard from hospital staff, hospice staff, we're a good family. We did everything right. We got, as far as caregiving goes, I think we're a good family, but we were not perfect. But I would never take it back or trade it.
Honestly, I miss everything about them. It's, having someone to talk to, the wisdom. They knew everything about our family, and to have them here was great. It was great. I learned so much.
My first piece of advice is you have to pray about it. And decide that this is really what you want to do. Talk to others who've done it. Find out if your town offers or your hospital offers any training.
If there was any advice that I had to give to someone that was making a decision whether or not to keep their parent or a family member at home, I would tell them to do it. It's well worth it in the end. And it sounds like it's kind of self-benefiting, but I love Love the fact that we did it. I mean, no one's going to take care of your family like you.